In 1993, Tombstone didn't just take audiences back to the brutal world of the Wild West, where gunfire decided human fate. It also immortalized legendary figures through performances by stars like Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer. Yet behind the glow of Hollywood's spotlight lay heartbreaking tragedies, devastating illnesses, quiet deaths, and the hidden stories that were never truly told. Do you dare to join us as we uncover the real fates behind these legends? The narrator, voiced by Robert Mitchum, with his distinctive deep, gravelly tone, brings an epic and nostalgic quality to the entire story. Born on August 6, 1917, in the United States, he took on this role at around 76 years old, in the final stage of his career, yet still retained his powerful symbolic presence. Without appearing on screen, Mitchum's narration envelops the American West with a sense of history and destiny. He passed away on July 1, 1997, from lung cancer and complications of emphysema at the age of 79, leaving a profound and lingering impression on audiences. Henry Hooker is portrayed by Charlton Heston with a dignified and composed presence, representing the wealthy and powerful elite of America during the westward expansion era. Born on October 4, 1923, in the United States, Heston took on this role at around 70 years of age, carrying with him the stature and legacy of a cinematic icon. Although his screen time is limited, he still conveys a sense of solidity and trustworthiness, serving as a quiet anchor for the main character arc. Sadly, Charlton Heston passed away on April 5, 2008 from congestive heart failure at the age of 84, leaving behind a monumental legacy in the history of American cinema. The High Roller is portrayed by Don Collier with the familiar demeanor of a seasoned Western actor, bringing a sense of authenticity and everyday realism to the frontier setting. Born on August 17, 1928, in the United States, he took on this role at around 65 years old, at a point when his career had fully matured. Although it is only a small supporting role, Collier's appearance evokes memories of the classic Western acting generation, helping to enrich the period atmosphere. Don Collier passed away on June 24, 2021, due to old age at the age of 92, leaving behind a familiar and fond image in the hearts of Western film enthusiasts. Marshal Fred White is portrayed by Harry Carey Jr. with an air of integrity and calmness, embodying the classic Western lawman who values justice and honor above all. Born on May 16, 1921 in the United States, he took on this role at around 72 years of age, carrying with him a family legacy deeply tied to the Western genre. Although Carey Jr.'s character appears only briefly, he leaves behind a strong sense of loss and regret, helping to intensify the story's central conflict. Sadly, he passed away on December 27, 2012, of natural causes at the age of 91, leaving a lasting and enduring mark on the history of the American Western cinema. Dr. Goodfellow is portrayed by Grant James as a background character who embodies the everyday, understated atmosphere of a Western town, gentle and largely free of dramatic flair. Born on February 19, 1934, in the United States, he took on this role at around 59 years old, helping to fill out the quiet, ordinary rhythms of life amid the surrounding violence. Although not a prominent character, Grant James's presence adds a sense of lived-in reality and community to the story. He passed away on November 11, 2019, of natural causes at the age of 85, leaving behind the image of a dedicated and understated supporting actor. Morgan Earp is portrayed by Bill Paxton with a gentle and sincere demeanor, making him the most emotionally grounded and family-oriented of the Earp brothers. Born on May 17, 1955, in the United States, Paxton took on this role at the age of 38, bringing a warmth that stands in stark contrast to the violence surrounding him. Morgan's character becomes an emotional anchor for the family and ultimately a profound tragedy that drives Wyatt Earp's path of vengeance. Bill Paxton passed away on February 25, 2017, due to complications following heart surgery at the age of 61, leaving behind deep regret and fond remembrance among audiences. Curly Bill Brocius is portrayed by Powers Booth as a chaotic, dangerous, and unpredictable antagonist, radiating a raw, instinctual violence. Born on June 1, 1948, in the United States, Booth took on this role at the age of 45, at the height of his acting powers. Every glance and gesture conveys instability and menace. Curly Bill is both brutal and unhinged, becoming a terrifying counterforce to the Earp faction and a constant source of violence that hangs over the story. Powers Booth passed away on May 14, 2017, of natural causes at the age of 68, leaving a powerful legacy through his memorable, villainous roles in cinema. Father Feeney is portrayed by Sanford Gibbons as a quiet religious presence, representing the moral foundation of society within a violence-ridden western town. Born on November 9, 1935, in the United States, he took on this role at around 58 years of age, bringing a sense of calmness and compassion. Although he appears only in brief moments, the character of Father Feeney provides a gentle contrast to the gunfire and hatred, underscoring the values of spirituality and human conscience. Sadly, Sanford Gibbons passed away on July 12, 2019, of natural causes at the age of 83, leaving behind a subtle yet warm impression on audiences. The priest is portrayed by Pedro Armendáriz Jr. as a symbolic figure, representing the Mexican community and the cultural and religious dimension within the multicultural setting of the American West. Born on April 6, 1940 in Mexico, he took on this role at around 53 years of age, carrying himself with a calm and dignified presence. Although he has little dialogue, the character's presence conveys a sense of reverence and cultural depth, helping to broaden the story's worldview beyond gunfights and violent conflict. Pedro Armendáriz Jr. passed away on December 23, 2011, from cancer at the age of 71, leaving a lasting legacy in Mexican and international cinema. Doc Holliday is portrayed by Val Kilmer as an intellectual, razor-sharp anti-hero burdened with deep inner tragedy. Born on December 31, 1959, in the United States, Kilmer took on this role at the age of 34, at the height of his career. With his distinctive drawn-out speech, weary yet defiant eyes, he transformed Doc Holliday into the emotional soul of the story, at times even overshadowing the protagonist. This performance is widely regarded as the pinnacle of Val Kilmer's career. He passed away on April 1, 2025, from pneumonia at the age of 65, leaving behind a legendary role in the history of cinema. Virgil Earp is portrayed by Sam Elliott as a classic Western icon, representing a style of leadership rooted in morality, discipline, and responsibility. Born on August 9, 1944, in the United States, Elliott took on this role at around 48 years of age, bringing a calm presence along with his signature, deep, resonant voice. Virgil does not flaunt physical strength. Instead, he embodies the maturity of a man who bears the weight of law, duty, and family. Today, Sam Elliott is 81 years old and is still regarded as one of the most enduring and iconic figures of the American Western genre. Wyatt Earp, as portrayed by Kurt Russell, emerges as a strong yet deeply human figure, one who does not flaunt heroic grandeur but instead emphasizes decisiveness and a sense of responsibility. Born on March 17, 1951 in the United States, Russell took on this role at around 42 years of age, at a stage in his career mature enough to convey substantial inner depth. His restrained performance allows Wyatt to act based on family loyalty and the rule of law rather than the pursuit of fame. Today, Kurt Russell is 74 years old, and this role is still regarded as one of the most important milestones in his career. Johnny Ringo, as portrayed by Michael Biehn, emerges as a cold, intellectual antagonist, dangerous not because of brute aggression, but because of his sharp mind and deep-seated pride. Born on July 31st, 1956 in the United States, Biehn took on this role at around 37 years of age, creating a tense and compelling symmetry with Doc Holliday. His steady gaze and deliberately measured delivery make Ringo a quiet yet persistent threat. Even with limited screen time, the character exerts a strong psychological pressure. Today, Michael Biehn is 69 years old, and the role of Johnny Ringo is still regarded as one of his most memorable villain performances. Josephine Marcus, as portrayed by Dana Delany, presents the image of an independent, refined, and emotionally strong woman who helps balance the harsh violence of the gunfighter's world. Born on March 13, 1956 in the United States, Delany took on this role at around 37 years of age, conveying maturity and natural self-confidence. Josephine is not merely a romantic interest, but also a voice of emotion and reason, adding human depth and warmth to the story. Today, Dana Delany is 69 years old and continues to be recognized as a graceful and enduring presence in American television and cinema. Mr. Fabian, as portrayed by Billy Zane, appears as a duplicitous aristocrat representing the social power that operates behind schemes and violent conflicts. Born on February 24, 1966 in the United States, Zane took on this role at around 27 years of age, bringing a smooth, polished, and courteous demeanor that conceals cold calculation. Despite his limited screen time, the character evokes a strong sense of unease and suspicion, reflecting the darker side of the upper class in the frontier era. Today, Billy Zane is 59 years old, and this small role already reveals the early emergence of his distinctive talent for playing antagonistic characters. Sherman McMasters, as portrayed by Michael Rooker, emerges as a neutral gunman who lives by survival instinct rather than ideals or the rule of law. Born on April 6, 1955, in the United States, Rooker took on this role at around 38 years of age, bringing a rough, pragmatic presence and a sense that he is always ready to change sides in order to stay alive. Neither truly good nor evil, the character reflects the moral gray zone of the untamed American West. Rooker's understated yet highly charged performance makes McMasters a memorable piece of the narrative, adding grit and authenticity to the story. Today, Michael Rooker is 70 years old and continues to be known for his strong, distinctive character roles. Ike Clanton, as portrayed by Stephen Lang, appears as a cowardly yet psychologically unstable antagonist, dangerous not through direct strength but through his unpredictability. Born on July 11, 1952 in the United States, Lang took on this role at around 41 years of age, presenting a man constantly torn between fear, hatred, and uncontrollable rage. Ike lacks the nerve of a true gunman, yet it is precisely his weakness and inner chaos that make him threatening. The performance helps vividly illustrate the moral decay and spiritual rot within the opposing faction. Billy Breckenridge, as portrayed by Jason Priestley, appears awkward and naive, representing a younger generation easily drawn into violence without the maturity or resolve to control its own fate. Born on August 28, 1969, in Canada, Priestley took on this role at around 24 years of age, conveying a sense of impulsiveness, shallowness, and constant marginality to major conflicts. The role is not action-heavy, but it creates a clear contrast with the older, more seasoned characters around him. Today, Jason Priestley is 55 years old and is still widely remembered for roles associated with the conflicted youth and coming-of-age characters. Johnny Tyler, as portrayed by Billy Bob Thornton, appears as an explosive cameo, brief but packed with fierce personality. Born on August 4, 1955 in the United States, Thornton took on this role at around 38 years of age, unleashing a surge of raw, aggressive energy from his very first moments on screen. His arrogant posture and abrasive delivery ensure the character leaves a strong impression even though his fate is sealed almost instantly. This small role already reveals the instinctive and unpredictable acting quality that would later become a defining hallmark of Billy Bob Thornton's career. Today he is 69 years old and continues to work steadily in film. Tom McLaury, as portrayed by John Philbin, appears as a secondary gunman caught in a collective tragedy, lacking the force of personality to shape his own fate, yet still swept into the vortex of violence. Born on February 14, 1953, in the United States, Philbin took on this role at around 40 years of age, conveying a sense of resignation and fragility amid the clashing forces around him. Though a small role, it helps underscore the cost paid by those who find themselves on the wrong side of a larger conflict. Today, John Philbin is 72 years old and is still remembered for his supporting roles marked by quiet tragedy. Billy Clanton, as portrayed by Thomas Hayden Church, appears only in a small role, yet it is enough to hint at his future acting potential. Born on June 17, 1960 in the United States, Church took on this role at around 33 years of age, presenting the image of a young gunman drawn into collective violence rather than truly in control of his own destiny. Though he is given little room to shine, the role is often seen as a quiet stepping stone before his later success in film. Today, Thomas Hayden Church is 65 years old and is regarded as a highly capable and respected actor in Hollywood. The cameo by Wyatt Earp III carries more historical significance than cinematic weight, serving as a direct connection between the story on screen and the real-life figure behind it. Born on August 3, 1947, in the United States, he is the grandson of Wyatt Earp, the legendary Western lawman portrayed in the film. At the time of his cameo appearance, Wyatt Earp III was already middle-aged, and his presence lends a sense of authenticity, like a quiet tribute to his family's legacy. Though extremely brief, the moment leaves a symbolic impression on viewers who care about historical continuity and heritage. Ed Bailey, portrayed in a brief appearance by Frank Stallone Jr., functions as an interesting cameo, more intriguing than memorable in terms of performance. Born on July 30, 1950, in the United States, he took on this role at around 43 years of age, at a time when he was already widely known as a musician and singer, as well as the younger brother of Sylvester Stallone. Frank Stallone Jr.'s presence feels familiar and adds a touch of peripheral color to the film's cast of characters, like a small accent within a story dominated by gunfire and conflict. Today, he is 74 years old and remains active in the world of music. Sheriff Johnny Bayan, as portrayed by Terry O'Quinn, emerges as a representative of morally compromised law enforcement, where authority operates in a gray zone between order and compromise. Born on July 15, 1952 in the United States, O'Quinn took on this role at around 41 years of age, bringing a calm demeanor that conceals cold calculation. Without resorting to overt violence, Bayhan provokes discomfort through his gaze and his tendency to side with personal interests rather than justice. The role effectively highlights the corruption and decay of power within frontier society. Today, Terry O'Quinn is 72 years old and continues to be highly regarded for his complex character performances. The journey of the Tombstone cast is a powerful reminder that cinematic glory does not always walk hand in hand with happiness. Behind these legendary performances lie lives marked by loss, loneliness, and silent battles against time and illness. Whether they are still with us or have passed on, their images continue to live forever on screen. Which character left the deepest impression on you? Share your thoughts in the comments, like the video and subscribe to continue exploring stories that were never told.